What's good, everybody? Welcome back to A1 Hoop Zone. Back at y'all with another one, man. Apologies, been out, been sick, just on the road to recovery and getting better. Before we get into this video, make sure you smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe as well. All right, let's jump into this, man. So we got my Los Angeles Lakers on deck. We got Pat Bev officially in the purple and gold, and then we got the return of Mr. Dennis Schroeder, stint number two, coming back on a minimum deal. What does this all mean for Russell Westbrook? We're gonna get into this, man. So first off, having Pat Bev again officially in that purple and gold is something that brings a little bit of joy, at least for me. I'm sure with the purple and gold would everything he brings to the table for us. So excited about that. Now the return of Dennis Schroeder. Why am I welcoming back open arms? Even though he had botched a deal, multi-year, multi-million, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was like 4 years, 70 million or something along those lines. But we're not going to count the man pockets. We're not going to get into that function and part of it. But Dennis Schroeder brings almost the same element as Pat Bev, to the table. He's a hard nosed defender, plays defense, high energy guy. I would say good decision maker with the ball. He's not high turnover prone either, so that's a good thing that we definitely know we're going to get out of him. Not the greatest knockdown shooter, but he also, again, not to take a shot at Russ or anything like that, but he's a better shooter than Russ. Um, Now, with that said, though, again, he definitely finishes around the rim. He doesn't miss a lot of chippies and things of that nature, and he brings a secondary edge of playing defense and being a gnat out there to the other offensive players, man. So, again, like I said, I'm excited he's coming back. He has a newfound kind of dog in him about the situation. He didn't like the taste. He didn't like how the taste of how it left, or he didn't like the taste in his mouth that left with Laker Nation. So I think he's gonna come back with a vengeance and bring a whole different kind of energy level with it, man. We got to see him over there balling out, in the FIBA games and the Euro games over there. So he's definitely staying in shape and staying ready to play, man. So I'm excited about that part. Obviously, but we also have Kendrick Nunn returning as well this season as another point guard that's going to be on the roster. I would say I'll have to see what he has to bring to the table, man. It's been quite some time since I've seen Kendrick Nunn out there. Last time I kind of seen him playing meaningful minutes was when he was playing for the Miami Heat. And we all know what he was doing over there, man. So we'll have to see what he brings to the table for the Laker Nation. Just because, again, like I said, man, it's been quite some time since we've seen him, so he's kind of almost a forgotten to some sense. And again, that's point guard, what, number 3 or 4 at this point, that we all know, having that 6'9" monster on your team. That's being kind of deemed as the Magic Johnson 2.0 when it comes to passing and seeing the floor. With LeBron James, we all know with the ball in his hands is probably the best decision or the most successful recipe to have when he's on your team. And he's been doing it for 20 years and it's been proved for 20 years as well. So you can't really take him out of the point guard action because we know he's definitely going to have the ball in his hand a lot too. With that said, man, what does this mean for Russ? I think at this point for Russ, man, it's only a matter of time before he's, being shipped out. It's no slight to him or anything of that nature. But like I said in the previous video, before the season even started, when they first made the trade for Russ, I stated that it is not a good idea. It's not going to work out. It's just, the element of his game and how he is at this point in his career is just not going to be a good fit with AD and LeBron, man. It's not going to be a successful thing. And we got to see that. And so I personally don't think we need to see any more of it just because it's right there, the writing on the wall of what you're going to get. And it's just not a good fit. And it was an experiment that failed. But I think at this point with Russ, man, I think it's going to be a situation again where he's going to be moving on from the purple and gold. It's just going to be a matter of time of when and how it's going to be done. Why do I say how it's going to be done? Because I think at this point, and this is obviously no slight or anything like that to my Lakers, but excuse me, but the moves that's being made and happening right now, it's kind of pointing to the direction of they're either trying to force him to request a trade, or they're going to force him to a submission of accepting a role, or accepting a role that he obviously is going to be comfortable with, or they're going to turn this into a situation where it's going to be, he's going to want to take his ball and go home. Dare I say? I mean. I highly doubt the Lakers are going to do what the Houston Rockets did with John Wall. They're not going to pay him to go home. Obviously 47 to 48 million. I highly doubt they're going to swallow that pill and say, go home and we'll still pay you. I know they did something similar like that to Luol Deng, but that wasn't 48 million. No, it's a big gap difference between the two as far as the pay wise. But um, yeah, I think they're kind of putting the pressure on and let him know, if things aren't working out, we are going to make a change extremely quick. Again, bringing in Schroeder, obviously Pat Bev being there, Kendrick Nunn returning, and obviously still got Braun there, obviously as a ball handler as well. But I think, there was reports surfacing saying that, the Lakers are potentially exploring the option of bringing Russell Westbrook off the bench. I highly doubt that'll happen. Why do I doubt that'll happen? You have a top 75 player, max contract player that you're paying all this money to. You're not gonna you're not gonna bring him off the bench. I don't really know how else to really put that. He's not a Manu Ginobili or any of these other players that's acceptance, or Jordan Clarkson, or anything like that. He's not going to be acceptance of his role coming off the bench, just because he is a top 75 player, former MVP, and just his ego and his aura about Russ himself, man. That he's not going to accept that, nor or is he going to allow himself to come off the bench. I think he'd rather take his ball and go home than come off the bench. At this point in the stage in his career, because he understands that it's kind of going to diminish his trade value, when trade time comes around, or another opportunity with the team comes around at this point, man. So, yeah, it's a lot to take in, a big pill to swallow. But again, man, like I said, I think, and no slight or disrespect to Russ, I think it's time to move on, and we'll have to figure out a way to make that happen. But that's all I got for y'all, man. I appreciate you stopping through. Again, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit that bell icon to get all the notifications. Definitely leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think, and I'll be responding to each and every one of those comments. If you wish to support the channel, that information will be flowing at the bottom of the screen. Otherwise, it'll be in the description of the video as well, man. Again, I appreciate you stopping through to the zone, and y'all be safe out there.